Okay, so the Super Bowl 60 logo, well, Super Bowl 61 logo just dropped. So I had to do some digging. Okay, so this is what the Super Bowl 61 logo look like normally. There's a lot of people saying Bills, 49ers, all this other stuff. There's some people saying Panthers go for Super Bowl 62. I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you why that the Panthers have to go now. They can't go to Super Bowl 62. They gotta go Super Bowl 61. They can't. I'm gonna tell you why the Panthers have to go now. I'm gonna tell you why. But this is what the logo looks normally. Got orange and you got this blue here. This light blue here. Very interesting colors that they have here. I inverted the Panthers logo, as you can see. This is what the Panthers logo look like inverted. It's orange inverted. See how they have this orange on here? Yeah, that's very interesting. But you about to find out some more shit when I because I'm st- when well I did some more digging and more digging. I inverted team logos too. Some of the team logos as well. I found some crazy shit. I see why some people were saying Dolphins. Uh, the Bears don't fit. The Bears do not fit this. Because I inverted their logo a while ago, so the Bears don't fit. The Vikings don't fit either. So I'm gonna show y'all the inverted logo along with some other teams that could possibly be candidates. I saw a lot of people say Chiefs. I did. And honestly, I'm not ruling that out either. The fucking Chiefs, if it's the Chiefs again, that's just fucking crazy. Because I am tired of seeing the fucking Chiefs. How many times are you gonna pick the same fucking team? Like, since 2015, it's been Patriots and fucking Chiefs. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, can y'all pick anybody else from the AFC? Like, is at a point where it's just like, my nigga, pick somebody else. But this is what it looked like. Look at this. Inverted Dolphin logos, inverted Jaguars logo, and I inverted the Cardinals and Washington logo as well. Like, look at this. You see how it's kind of like matching everything here? That's wild. You see that, right? I'm not ruling out the Chiefs because this shit is red. We got red, white in here. Yeah, I see some people saying orange. I really don't see orange. I see red. This is like a this is like a faded out red. This don't look like orange to me. This look like a faded out red. It do. And then you got the blue in the background. The Panthers are here too. So the Panthers gotta go be ruled in here. Washington logo inverted, the Cardinals logo inverted, the, the Dolphins logo inverted, the Jaguars logo inverted. Yeah, these teams might be playoff teams going into the season or next year. Well, this upcoming season. These might be playoff teams that I'm looking at here. Kind of like how the playoffs was this year, how some of the teams were matching the color for Super Bowl 60, if you think about it. So these might legit be playoff teams. It's very interesting. This could literally be Chiefs again. They could literally go back to the West again, the AFC West. That's very interesting. And this might be fucking Chiefs again. I'm not even lying. To my standards, I thought they would go north because they've been in the AFC West for too long. But this is looking like they go back to the West again and look like they go Chiefs again. Like, this is just ridiculous. If you go Chiefs again, that's just wild. There's no reason for you to go Chiefs again. Apparently, the NFL loves the Chiefs. Apparently, the Chiefs are supposed to be the next dynasty team. Oh, they love the Chiefs, don't they? They really love the Chiefs, man. They really do. They love the Chiefs. There's people. Okay, there's one. Well, there's some. I think there was one person that said that the Panthers have to go Super Bowl 62. They can't. There's a reason why I'm saying that the Panthers have to go now. They can't go to Super Bowl 62. They got to go now. There's a reason why I'm saying that because If the Panthers and the Saints, uh, the Panthers and the Saints, what you call them, cycles are up at the exact same time. The Saints have a 17-year cycle that put them at 2027 season. The Panthers have a 11-year cycle. If you go by 12, somebody say if one of the persons commented say if it's 12, it's actually 11. You sound like me when I did that the first time. When I was doing this the first time, I was actually going by 12. But if you go by 12, it starts overlapping with the other teams in the NFC South. That's why you got to go by 11. It starts overlapping. So you got to go by 11, not 12. It starts overlapping with the Saints' schedule. So you with the Saints' Super Bowl appearance, you gotta go by 11, not 12. You gotta go by 11. Gotta go by 11. So the Panthers have to go now. The Saints have a 17-year cycle. That puts them at the 2027 season. So that means the Saints have 1 year left, which is technically this year. The Panthers gotta go now. The Saints go next year. Because if you go by 12, it starts colliding with the Saints. You can't do that. And I did that when I was doing like the timeline for the South. It starts colliding with each other. So you can't fucking do this. So that means the Panthers have to go now. And if it is the Chiefs and the Panthers, I feel bad for the Panthers because they most likely gonna make the Chiefs win here. That's interesting. Well, the shit is blue and inverted. And I inverted the Panthers logo and it's orange. And the orange is kind of matching here. That's very interesting. And inverted, the shit turns blue. So this got to be a team with the blue. Yes, I understand, y'all. There's some people say it might be Bills. I mean, the Bills do have a chance, but I highly doubt it based on this pattern in the NFC South. This is the weirdest pattern I have ever seen. This pattern ain't random either. Look at this pattern. Once, twice, once, twice, once, twice. We at the end of the 5-year gap. So that means the Panthers are next. The Panthers have an 11-year cycle. It's not 12, it's 11. Because if you go by 12, it starts colliding with the Saints. You can't have that. So everything has to be perfect. You can't have that because they start overlapping with each other. You can't have that. It got to be perfect. That's how it was with this one. The Panthers was overlapping with the Falcons here, right here. So it had to be 11, not 12. And I noticed that when I was doing this. I did this a while ago. It's actually 11 because if you go by 11, it's not going to overlap with the other team. So it has to be 11. Falcons' first appearance, 17 years. That's 17 years apart. Buccaneers' first appearance to the second appearance. That's 17 years apart. Panthers from here to here, that's 11. And Panthers from here to here, that's also 11. And the Saints, 17 years to here, that's 17 years. Yeah. The 3 NFC South teams have 17 years. The Falcons, the Bucks, and the Saints got 17-year cycles. The Panthers have an 11-year cycle. So for the Panthers, you gotta go by every 11 years. For the Saints, Falcons, and Bucks, you gotta go by every 17 years. And that's gonna lead you to here. It also made a whole lot of sense as to why Tom Brady went to Tampa in the fucking first place. Because their 17-year cycle was up. That's literally why. That's why I say the Panthers are up next. Because their cycle is up right now. That means the Super Bowl season run starts right now. This season. The 2026 season. There's some person that commented that said they go next year, they don't go next year. Because they're gonna collide with the Saints. The Saints gotta go next year. The Saints have a 17-year cycle just like the Bucks and the Falcons. They both have 17-year cycles as well. So that means the Saints got 17-year cycles too. Got a 17-year cycle as well. And that puts the Saints right here. The 2028 season. If you go by 12 for the Panthers, it's gonna start overlapping with the other teams in the South. So you have to go by 11, not 12. 11 is the most optional number for the Panthers. You got to go by 11, not 12. That just make the most logical damn sense. And judging by this chart here, they could go back to the West again, and it might be Chiefs again. These niggas love the Chiefs, and I told y'all the AFC is very different compared to the NFC. The AFC is like dynasty cycles and conference power shifts. They always do this. That's why you see the same team appear multiple fucking times in Super Bowls. Look how many times the Steelers appear compared to the other two teams that's here. The Ravens and the Bengals. The Colts appear 4 fucking times compared to anybody else in the South. And look how many times the fucking Patriots appears. That's insane compared to the rest of the fucking division. Look how many times the Chiefs and the Broncos appear within this division. The Chiefs and the Broncos, I think, are almost tied for the number of Super Bowl appearances, which is crazy. So it's a possibility they could go back to the West again. And it might be fucking Chiefs again. That's wild, ain't it? Yeah, the NFL has their favorites. Big market teams. The East and the West are like big market teams. While the North and the South are kind of like lesser market teams, which is why you see them less. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go Chiefs again. That's very interesting. So we got a lot of time to figure this shit out. East, West, they go to South. Yeah, because based on the NFC South pattern, they got to go South. And the Panthers are the most logical team that's next. The Panthers are next based on this pattern. And I even noticed this pattern because I have all the Super Bowl. I have a Google Doc with all the Super Bowls. And I noticed this pattern when I was looking over it. And I started putting it together, and I'm like, okay, this makes a lot more fucking sense now. The Panthers are next. And this pattern ain't fucking random. This is the exact reason why there is no dominant team in the NFC South. The NFL is rotating through the entire NFC South, giving every team a chance. That's basically what they're doing. That's why there's no dominant team in the NFC South, because everybody's rotating through. The real dominant teams in the NFC South is actually the Bucks and the Saints. Those are the two dominant teams in the South. It's not just one team, it's two. But I understand what you're saying, what the person said. They say that the Panthers have to go next year. No, the Panthers don't go next year. They go right now. Because if they go next year, it's going to collide with the Saints. The Saints have a 17-year cycle. That's put the Saints here, not behind them. The Panthers don't go here. They collide with each other. So the Panthers have to go now. It was the same thing for this one. It was colliding with the Falcons, but the Panthers have to go first. And then the Falcons go next. Yeah. It was the same thing with this one. So the Panthers have to go first. And then the Saints right behind them. Only logical option. But which is very interesting. So here we go. All the logos side by side. In all honesty, this shit do look like it's Chiefs again. It do. This could literally be the fucking Chiefs again. Judging how the other logos looked like when the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl. This looked like the Chiefs again. If this the Chiefs again, that's just ridiculous. If it's just the Chiefs again, that is just crazy. So let's see. West, 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 East, West, West again. That's very interesting. And I think it is the Chiefs here. I think it is the Chiefs again. That is wild if it is. So, how I'm looking at it, I'm going to have to keep my close eye on the Panthers and the rest of these teams here that matches the logo pretty much. And these teams here might actually be in the playoffs legitimately. These might be in the playoffs, but the Panthers' cycle is definitely up. Their cycle is up right now. So more than likely, it legit might be the Panthers because their cycle is up right now. They're next. Because the 5-year gap is over. So that means the Panthers are next. And then the Saints. I'm telling y'all right now, do not go by 12. Because if you go by 12, it starts overlapping with the other NFC South teams. You got to go by 11, not 12. You sound like me when I was doing it the first time. When I first did it, I was doing it by 12. But when I was doing it by 12, it starts overlapping with the other NFC South teams. So I had to go by 11. 11 is the optional reason. Their cycle is shorter compared to the other 3 teams in the South, like the Bucks and the Falcons, and the Saints, who all have 17-year cycles. The Panthers have the shortest cycle in the NFC South, 11 years. Every 11 is not 10 and it's not 12, it's 11. If you go by 12, you're going by Super Bowl appearance. Go by 11. That's going to bring you to the season. If you go by 11, the Super Bowl season. 2004 plus 11, that brings you to the 2015 season. That brings you to the 2016 season. Well, the 2015 season, I meant. That brings you directly to the 2015 season. 2015 season. And if you do 2015 plus 11, that brings you to the 2026 season. The 2026 season. That's exactly what that brings you. 2015 plus 11, that brings you to the 2026 season. Right on time for the Panthers to go to the Super Bowl in 2027. That's right on time, ain't it? Yep. So that means the Panthers have to go now. They can't go right behind them. They have to go now. Because the Saints are following right behind them. Remember, they hit in the South twice. The Saints and the Panthers cycles are up at the exact same time, which is why they hit the South twice. It was the same right here. The Falcons and the Panthers schedule cycles was up at the exact same time right here, which is why they hit the South twice, back-to-back years. So that means the Panthers have to go first, and then the Falcons. Because the Falcons have a 17-year cycle right here into here. That's 17 years. From here to here, that's 11 years. So that means the Panthers had to go first. And then here was a 3-year gap. The Buccaneers. And you know what's funny? In between these 3 to 5 year gaps, they're hitting the other divisions. They're hitting the North. I wouldn't say they wouldn't hit the North, but they're hitting the East or the West in between these 3 to 5 years before they go back to the South. And I'm gonna show you that. You can see the pattern right here. It's the same pattern I showed you right here, and you could actually see them hitting the other divisions before they hit the South. You could clearly see that. 1999, and then you had 2000. 2001 and 2002. Rams, Giants, and Rams again. And then they went back to where? The South. 2003 and 2004. Bam, bam. Twice. Yeah, that was twice. Then there was a 5-year gap. And then they hit the South again. One time. And that was the Saints. One time. 5 years later, they hit the South again. Twice. Pow, pow. And then there was a 3-year gap. So 2018, they went east. 2019, they went west. 2020, west. And then they went where? 2021, Buccaneers, south. That was a 3-year gap. And now the 5-year gap is over. So right after the Bucks, it was a 5-year gap. So that means the South is next. Every 3 to 5 years, they go to the South. So that means the NFC South is next. And it's most likely the fucking Panthers. So that means the Panthers are up next based on the NFC South pattern that I'm seeing right here. The Panthers are next. I'm telling you right now, do not go by 12 because if you go by 12, it starts overlapping with the other NFC South teams. You got to go by 11. The Panthers have the shortest cycle in the NFC South compared to the other three teams. So you got to go by 11. And judging how the inverted logos look, this shit look like it's Chiefs again. I am not going to lie. This shit look like it's Chiefs again. The fucking Chiefs again, which is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it looks like the Chiefs again. That's crazy if it is. But I might have to keep my close eye on the teams that's all here that kind of like matches the logo. And the Panthers can match the logo normally, but it also inverted as well because of the blue. But I'm gonna have to watch all these teams, especially the fucking Chiefs. I'm gonna have to watch them too. But I'm also have to watch the Panthers. But anyway, this is the end of the video. Y'all have a nice day.